Hey there guys, Darryl Griffiths here for Jumpcut Online. This is my latest video review straight from Glasgow Film Festival. I hope you've all been very well. Today, it is a film that I've had to sleep on after seeing it yesterday afternoon. It is the new film from director David Robert Mitchell, whose name you may recognise because he provided us with the terrific horror offering It Follows. The soundtrack still haunts me to this day, for sure. And it is called Under the Silver Lake. It stars Andrew Garfield, who I think has been on a hot streak of recent times. He starred in Martin Scorsese's Silence alongside Adam Driver and Liam Neeson, who has of course been caught up in a lot of controversy in recent times. And he graced the stage in Angels in America, which I had the pleasure of seeing over the space of a good 7 hours. It's quite the undertaking. Whether it was film, TV, theatre, I think it was just incredible what he brought to the table with a work that I'm very fond of anyway. But his performance I very much treasure. So, Under the Silver Lake, it is a peculiar film noir of sorts. Garfield plays Sam, this stoner bro, lazy type who is sort of aimlessly meandering through life in Los Angeles. He has a fondness for conspiracy theories and fanzines, and he has a knack of spying, sort of, on various women in close proximity. He really strikes up a relationship with Riley Keough, who is this with the beach blonde hair and lush red lips. She looks like a Hollywood bombshell from yesteryear in terms of how she's portrayed within the film. But she goes missing suddenly. And Garfield takes it upon himself to try and uncover what has happened to her. And it leads him on a path that it's a very labyrinthine, cryptic narrative that Robert Mitchell has crafted here. And that's probably why I had to sleep on it. It is... Where do I begin with this film? It is brilliantly shot for a start off, that's for sure. The lush, sun-kissed setting. Robert Mitchell really makes wonderful use of it. But the key portion of it, in terms of the mystery of it, I got to a point about halfway through where I thought, is this going to have the legs to sustain, I think, like a 2 hours 20 runtime? Because it was sort of drying up, and then it has a complete detour in terms of where it goes, and then it sort of introduces this myriad of ideas to the table, and he taps into pop culture, the representation of women in Hollywood, I think, because there's a lot of little subtle nods to famous auteurs like Alfred Hitchcock, and of course he was very known for a lot of voyeuristic intentions with his films, and Robert Mitchell sort of plays on that. I'd be intrigued to see what women make of this, if I'm honest, because I think because the narrative is so complex and cryptic, I think a lot of it will be lost in translation, and I think because the women are so sketchy in how they are developed, that's possibly the point, because of how Garfield's character, in my opinion, is quite problematic on the surface at least, as he sort of slowly discovers himself. And is the film sort of condemning how he portrays women and sort of uses women in a way, and the way Hollywood just sort of spits them out in a era of Time's Up, and, you know, females, whether it's behind the camera or in front of the camera, they're starting to become more prominent and get stronger representation, and it's about damn time. But then there's commentary on the regurgitation and the recycling of what Hollywood provides at this current moment in time. And if you look at all the sequels and the remakes and all the rest of it, It's very interesting, it's compelling, but when you try and piece it all together, it's a tricky one, this. Because Robert Mitchum is clearly, I mean, the mystery of it is playful, for sure. And it makes wonderful references to the likes of Nintendo and these sort of treasure hunt things. And the fanzine that Garfield's character becomes quite fond of, it's sort of representing sort of this Sin City style black and white storyboards, and they are brilliantly executed. But the references are so scatty. Like, you've got Nintendo at one point, and then you've got like some homeless guy or king of sorts, and is it sort of trying to deconstruct the social status in Hollywood, and is it sort of trying to lose that gloss and sheen of, you know, of this film world, and sort of try and dig a little deeper under the surface. And then there's references to Backstreet Boys and all these pop songs, and it's just such a mind-boggling film to get to grips with. And to be honest, if it wasn't for Andrew Garfield's commitment to the cause, and it is a terrific performance from Garfield, I have to say, once again, and he very much continues his hot streak. But the intentions of the character, if you're really not quite to grips with the whole thing, in terms of its ideas, and you're not really invested in it, I feel it's going to get really lost in the shuffle for a lot of people. And even now, me putting this out, I'm still torn whether I didn't hate it, for sure, but did I like it enough? It's a really... I feel like it might need another rewatch further down the line, because it's certainly not got the instant replay value of It Follows, obviously, which is, you know... And Robert Mitchum certainly has a fondness for creepy people that are naked, which obviously I won't spoil in terms of this film, but it's a very peculiar film. It very much revels in just, you know, like cults and what we process in terms of the superficiality of Hollywood, and whether we are disenchanted or disenfranchised in a way. This is probably coming across pretty scattershot as well, but that's literally how the film feels, to be honest. I admire the intention. I, to a degree, appreciate the execution, because it does feel like this blend of ideas that have been thrown in, and it does feel like there's a really interesting commentary on the Hollywood system in terms of women, how men portray women, and whether we sort of have to really change that mindset within this structure and within filmmaking, and just the whole mystery of it, and whether we need to get that back into film and cinema. Maybe that's the point. I don't know. I could go on. But Under the Silver Lake, for sheer curiosity value, I would check it out, for sure. But again, I mean, I'm struggling for words now. I just don't really know how to, you know, find a compelling argument to say that I liked it right now. But it is one of those curious cases that I know further down the line I will want to revisit it. Mainly because of how wonderful Andrew Garfield is as a performer, and it very much plays to his strengths in terms of his quirks. But yeah, I think I'm going to cut it there, because it's going to stir for a long time, and I hope that I've done it justice in a way. Under the Silver Lake is out on March 15th, I believe. I think the distributor Mubi have picked it up finally, because it debuted at Cannes last year, so it's taken a long time to get here. So I hope you've enjoyed the review. I hope I haven't been too scatty in terms of my approach and how I've tried to tackle the film, but it did leave me a little dumbstruck yesterday afternoon. But yeah, Jumpcut Online. You can like our page, follow us on Twitter. www.jumpcutonline.co.uk is the website. I've been Darryl Griffiths. Be sure to keep an eye out for further written and video reviews across the festival, and I will speak to you soon, guys. Take care. Bye now.